All right, welcome to this week's lesson on parallel lines and transversals. Now, by this stage in the week, you should already have done the Desmos activity. So I'm just going to be jumping on a few words used in that to explain what you need to know for today. So you might know that we have lines like this. Next one. So there's my two parallel lines. I show parallel by putting my two arrows on the line, and I also have a transversal which might run something like this. Now, transversal cuts through both lines, which is how we know it's a transversal. All right, now in the Desmos, you saw a few different patterns that could be drawn onto the line to help you work out how big the angles were. All right, so some of the patterns were the F pattern, which might have looked like this, a backwards F here. All right, some of them might have been, so the other pattern might have been a C pattern, where it was this. And don't forget, all of these can be forwards or backwards or upside down. Another one might have been the Z pattern, which looks like this. All right, or it could have been the other direction as well. Okay, so there was a special word associated with the F pattern. The F pattern was called, or the idea it showed was corresponding angles. Okay, so corresponding angles are equal. I'll use that. All right, so if I draw the F pattern here, there, their corresponding angles were there and there, and you can see that those two are the same size. Okay, now the next pattern, the Z pattern, was, the C pattern was next, wasn't it? No, it was the Z pattern. Z pattern looks there, and the word we use to describe these angles is alternate. So I'll write it over here, Z, alternate angles. Now it's called alternate because these two angles are on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, so that's called alternate. Alternate angles also happen to be equal. So we can write that here. All right, and the last pattern was the C pattern, which is drawn, I'll draw it this way for a little bit of a change. The C pattern is there, and the two angles are here. And the property that this shows is co-interior. Now what this means is that co is together. All right, so these two angles are together, and interior is inside. So these two angles are together inside. And you can see here that this one and this one are inside the C together. Okay, so that's co-interior. Another way of drawing the C, we could have drawn it out the other side like this, in which case these two angles would have been co-interior. All right, now what we know about co-interior angles is that co-interior angles add to 180 degrees, which means they are supplementary. Okay, and that works because this transversal, so this angle here made by the transversal and the parallel line, this one here corresponds to that one there. And then because this one is the other co-interior angle, together these two make the angles on the transversal, which must be 180. So the two co-interior angles are supplementary. Okay, so those are the few more of the terms we used in the Desmos activity related back to the vocabulary for this week. I hope that makes sense. I would suggest that you, or one of the activities we're going to do is to put these into our dictionary if we still have room, or if we're going to make another one. All right.